I'm here at the North Seattle Police Department, looking at the lot. Oh, they got a big lot. Pretty big lot. Lots of police cars. They got their own gas station. Wow. They got their own gas station. It's pretty crazy. It's really pretty crazy. It's a big lot. There's no reason for these guys to park on the street. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on inside here. Ask a few other questions. Oh yeah, it's a big lot, man. Look at that. That's huge. Look at all those cars. They even got one of those SWAT vans. Okay. What's it say here? No trespassing. Unauthorized persons will be cited per municipal code. It's not good. This guy's got his car running. He's inside of it. Look at these guys, man. I think they can do anything. It's a big lot. It's a huge lot. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what's going on inside here. I'm at the North Precinct today. No overnight parking of occupied vehicles. Huh. The North Precinct. I don't know if these are parking spots. These look like police people's cars that are just not sure that that's parking over here. Again, we all have to follow the rules and regulations. So they're doing something else. Here's the front of it. Let's go inside and make some contact. Let's see what we can get out of these guys. Sometimes they're assholes, sometimes they're good. We'll see what they're feeling like today. Ring the buzzer. Hello. Is there a sergeant available?
What do you need?
It's regarding like something that's been put on my record that shouldn't be there.
We have no control over what's on your record that shouldn't be there.
Well, I mean, you guys put it there, so you do have the control.
It has to be taken off by the court.
Well, it's not like a criminal charge. It's like a warning. It's like a warning to all police. Like, I'm a danger. I think it's called a hazard warning.
Probably goes through the state.
Please do not lean on the counter. Thank you.
Hi,
Hello.
did you need something?
I'm waiting for the sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Security cameras. Let's see. There's one right there. Looks like they have a cardboard box over it. Probably to block out the light from the ceiling. There's another camera there. That's 2 cameras. The other one had 3. What's this say? Nice little waiting lobby. Hello.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Stevens.
Nice to meet you.
You're being audio video recorded.
Yes. Nice to meet you.
As am I can see.
Okay. So I was told by Shoreline PD that there's like a hazard warning on my record, and it's to alert all police that I'm a danger or a threat to them. And I just want to like get more information about that and figure out what, like, because I was told that Seattle PD put it on there. They're the ones that put it on there, and they told me there's no control. They just stopped me. They stopped me because of that. So like it's impeding on my life because I'm being pulled over for, I don't have to do anything. I'm just labeled as a threat.
Well, you wouldn't be pulled over for having a hazard. It would be on there if an officer were to stop you for some reason, it would just notify the officer.
Right, but who has the power to just put information in a computer system and label people? That's like, you know what I mean? That's kind of...
You must have had, and I don't know the circumstances, but you must have had contact with the police at some point. Somebody decided that maybe you were being violent on that occasion, and somebody decided that...
But if I didn't receive charges, I didn't receive any type of like, criminal charges or whatever, I could understand if I was a criminal and I went to prison or jail, right? But nothing like that's happened. So it's like you just type something in, put it in there, and I'm labeled. It's not right.
Yeah, I don't know the
Sarge.
circumstances.
Sergeant, I'll give him the legal unit number, so
Okay.
he can talk to the attorneys
Okay.
for the department.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll give you a phone number, you can talk to the legal department.
The legal department?
Yeah, and they can maybe assist you with that. I don't know how you got a hazard report.
But I don't know if the legal department's gonna help me. I need to talk to the person that put that on my record. That like,
See, I have no idea who it was.
but it says on your system. You look at it, you can tell me, right?
It would just say, I think that there's a hazard report that you've been maybe combative or something with police. Did you ever get arrested?
No, I had never been arrested by CLPD, ever.
Have you ever been arrested anywhere else?
Like north ever long years ago, like
Okay.
more than.
That may have been the agency that put the report.
No, I'm told by Shoreline PD. It's Seattle PD that put it on there.
I don't know the circumstances.
They surrounded my car with about 4 different cops, and I said, "Why is there 4 different police officers?"
Why did they pull you over, do you know?
Well, they said that they just told me like there's a hazard warning on my record, and that I said, "Why is there so many cops?" And they're like, "Well, you're labeled as a threat to law enforcement."
They wouldn't have pulled you over for that reason, though. You must have had like a
Well, they
traffic violation. Or
well they tried to say that, of course, to justify their but that wasn't the case.
But you wouldn't know about the hazard unless they pulled you over and they ran your plate or something.
Well, I had to call the sergeant and ask the sergeant why there's 4 police officers for 1 traffic stop. It doesn't make sense. It's a waste of taxpayers' funds.
Well, they're another agency, just so you know. They're not Seattle PD insurance.
Yeah, they're different.
And if they want to respond with 4 officers to a hazard call, I mean, that's up to them.
But you have to understand, like, it might seem normal to you, but this isn't normal. You don't.
Here's the phone number.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
So I wrote down her number, name.
Okay. So this is the name of Rebecca. Is that Boatwright? If you call this number there, you can speak to somebody there. I don't have the power to remove anybody.
It's not about removing. It's giving me the proper information to lead me to the right source where they input the information. So, like, if you could look on the system, I know you're.
I don't know who the officer is, and I don't think there's any way to find out, for me to find out who the officer was that put you in the system.
So, like, if I gave you my driver's license and you looked me up, you couldn't see
I can see that there's a hazard report.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really vague. I mean, that's.
Well, and it would have information like what it was, like you're known to be violent. Or,
It doesn't say the source, like where they.
well, it would say like if you've been violent in the past with law enforcement, or if you've got a history of crisis incidents, it might say something like that. But if you call them, they could maybe give you some more information. I don't have the power to remove you from the system if that's what you're kind of looking for. But you could talk to somebody in the legal department.
Well, this is like lawyers, right? This is like SPD attorneys or something.
I believe so.
I don't know if that's. I need to speak to someone maybe downtown that can,
Okay, and they might be able to direct you to somebody else if they're not able to, but I don't have the power. Nobody here at the precinct has the
It just
power.
amazes me like
to
something
remove from the
like that
system.
can be put on someone's record, but no one has any information about it. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like someone somewhere put it on there and that's there and we don't know anything about it. We're just,
It's not a conviction for anything. It's just an advisement to law enforcement. If somebody were to contact you for some reason, it just gives a heads up to those officers that other police have had contact with you in the past, and they have reason to think that you could maybe pose a threat to the officers.
But if I've never been a threat to the officer.
Well, that's your opinion, but in the opinion of the officers who previously contacted you and who put you in the system, they believe that future officers should have a heads up that you might pose a threat to them.
And you think that's justified?
I'm not saying whether it's justified in your case or not, but somebody at some point in time felt that it was, and that's why they put you in the system.
I mean,
And I don't have the power to take you out of the system.
right, and I that's fine.
But it's not a conviction, and you shouldn't be getting stopped before having the hazard. It should be, if Shoreline stopped you, I assume that they had a traffic violation or some other reason for doing it.
He was real adamant to tell me about it. The sergeant was really, he expressed it to me. He was like, hey, this is why we had 4 police officers pull you over.
Well, that's probably why they had that number, but they wouldn't pull you over for having a hazard. I mean, that is not a basis for pulling somebody over on a traffic stop. So you must have maybe had expired tabs.
Well, if you run my plates, you see a hazard,
Right.
and then you create a justified reason to
You're
pull me
assuming
over.
that. I don't know why they did. You'd have to talk to those officers to see why they pulled you.
Well, you know, Shoreline PD, they don't have any information. I've tried to talk to them. They just tell me they see a hazard, and I have to talk to Seattle PD. So I went here, I went downtown, and
Well, to say you have to talk to Seattle PD, I mean, maybe Seattle PD puts you in the system, but that's not to say that if you come into the precinct that we can take you out of the system. But if you want to give a call to the legal department, they might be able to.
so you're telling me you can put a hazard ID on someone,
Yeah.
but you can't remove it.
I can't.
But you can put one on.
I'm saying I can't remove it.
You
Yes.
can put one on.
Yes.
So there's a system.
So we write up the paperwork and it gets sent somewhere and somebody else actually inputs it into the system.
Okay, so you have to fill out forms to do this.
Right.
Is there a form that I can see with like information? There isn't.
There's nothing I can give you. But why don't you give them, I really don't think I'm going to be able to help you with this. Why don't you
Okay.
give them a call and see what they can do for you?
I'll give them a call, but I feel like that's just kind of leading me. Because last time I went downtown and they gave me the number to the IT department. And I called the number a bunch of times and it wasn't the IT department for SPD. It was for another service. They're like, we have no affiliation with the SPD. And it was just like, you know, like, I'll take this and I'll call it. But I feel like I'm running around in circles.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not, nobody here at the precinct is going to be able to assist you with. I think you want to get out of the system is what you're asking. Right?
Yes, I want it out of the
And
system.
nobody at the precinct is going to be able to do that for you.
And there's nobody you can contact to say, hey, this guy came into my precinct.
Well, those folks right there.
I mean, you can't send an email to like, you know, maybe an investigator or like a detective. I feel like this has to be like from a detective or something, someone that.
I mean, just try and give them a call, and if they don't have the information, they can probably point you in the right direction. The legal department is better equipped to handle that than we are here at the precinct.
Okay, can I have your name and badge number?
Sure. I'm Sergeant Stevens, and 6180 is my badge.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.
Yep. Well, it looks like they're giving me the runaround about the hazard warning. I'm labeled as a threat to the police. Let's see what happens. I'll call this number Monday.